Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about shallow copy versus deep copy. When we copy one instance to another instance using C#, what happens in that both instances share same memory address. Let's open the Paint. We'll see that we'll create just like you have a one just like employee object. Here it will be, this one will be the employee object. So I'm going to write that employee. This one is employee object. This is little bit small. Like this one is employee object. This obj. So here in this employee object there is two things. First one is first name, and second one I'm going to write that is employee ID. Okay, so this employee object actually it's pointing this particular class or this particular that all those data means like here maybe that first name you can means like take okay, take two as employee ID is I'm going to write like 101. Okay, this value actually this once you are going to create that employee object and assigning some value, so it will be like that. The first name will be the like this and employee ID will be this. Once you are going to copy same copy in same object, you want to copy in another object, just like you have a one employee object that is another employee, and then you are going to create that object 2. And if you want to copy, so if you will make a copy of that employee object and you are assigned to the employee object 2, so once you will assign, that means you are pointing same address. You are going to pointing same address. Means like that same address in the sense, if that object 2 wants to change some the value of a first name, just like if they want to change the value of a first name will be like a sample. If we change to the sample, that means that object, that this particular employee object, that is obj, that also will have that same value, that is a sample. Means if that employee object 2 want to change that value of employee ID to 1002, then same value that employee object will be get. Let's see with the practical. Open the Visual Studio and create a new project. Just select the Windows and console application, that is a console, shallow and deep copy. Just I'm going to create that one employee class, that is employee class employee. It have that string first name, and second one is that employee ID. Here I'm going to write prop integer employee ID, right? So I'm going to create object of a that employee, that will be employee obj is equal to new employee. Okay, so I'm going to assign some value that like a obj dot employee ID is equal to 1001, or obj dot first name I'm going to change into like a tick. The first name is changed. Now I'm going to create one more object, that is a obj2. Okay, so same thing I'm going to copy this object 2 assign to the obj. Now if you are going to, because that you have assigned to the object 2, I'm going to change object 2 first name is tuition, okay, and same like that object 2 employee id is equal to 1002. Let's see that output. I'm going to print that obj string.format, that is a obj. I'm going to write, so it will be first will be the employee id, that is placeholder 0, and then first name that is a placeholder 1. Okay, going to like that. So going to assign some value, that is a your first one is the obj, so I'm going to obj.employee id, obj.first name. Same I'm going to copy for obj2, just like see, yeah, obj2. So here it will be like obj2, and this one obj2. Now what, see the output, it will become like this one. If I'm changing here, first I will print here that obj, this I will going to print. Okay, before that, as assigning that value, I'm printing here. Then this one, that first one, it will be print like a 1001 and tick. But second time also that particular obj value will be changed, because if you are updating from that obj2 and it's pointing in the same address. Just let's see the output. Now you can see here that obj before assigning it was like that 1001 and take. So you can see here it was first it was a obj 1001 employee id and the first name is a tech. The second times once you will look that I am changing that value, I am updating for object 2, obj2, I am updating for object 2. So but still once you are updating to object 2, but it's actually pointing into the same address, so that obj value also it's changed. So you can see here that is a 1002 and tuition, and also for object 2 that also it's a 1002 and tuition. Because of that it came the shallow copy. We can solve this problem with a shallow copy. So first we'll understand that what is a shallow copy. Shallow copy approach create a new instance of the original object with similar nature, I mean same type, and then starts copying the original object information, or more specifically we can say it's a non-static data members. While copying data member, it follows two different mechanisms. If the data member is a value type, a bit by bit copy will perform, and if the field is a reference type, then simply reference is copied, leaving the referred object data. Therefore, as a result, the refer in the original object and the reference is the copy object will point to the same object. So how will solve this one? I'm going to, just like if you see that one, you have created that one imply. I'm going to inherit that I clonable. I'm going to implement this I clonable implement. So here I'm going to return this dot membership clone. Okay, this I'm going to write to the membership clone, and something we should be changed here. Just like here, I'm going to make a copy of this one dot clone. Just that things need to change. Now if you'll see the output, just look at output. Now you can see. Now now the output is different. What's the output is different? You can see here that obj implied is the same, that 1001 and take. Okay, and still the same time also in the next times once you updating to that object 2, just like if you see here that you are updating the value of object 2, but here it's not updating because it's make that different address, it's pointing to the different this one if you see, and for the obj2 it's updating the new value only for object 2, not for object 1, because previously it was updating for both that obj and obj2, but this times once you use that one iclonable, and this times you can see here it's updating only for object 2. You can see this one is updating. For value type it's updating like that, but for reference type, let's see with the example for reference type. Once you are going to create one reference, create one more class, that is a public class, that is a ref type. I'm going to create in the ref type. I'm creating one integer, that is a employee number, because this clonable, the shallow clonable only for the primitive type, that is a int decimal, but for deep cloning it will work for your reference type also. But first we'll check whether what's the problem we'll face in the shallow type. So I've created that reference type just, and the reference type there is one variable, that is a employee number. Now create here, that is a probe, that ref type, and here object ref type, right? Just save it, come here, going to create that ref type, object of ref type. This is the top, I'm going to write, create the object obj ref type is equal to new ref type, and obj dot ref type dot employee number. Employee number I'm going to write 5000. Okay, and same one for obj I'm going to assign dot object reference type equal to this value. Now I'm going to change the value, this one, that object, your object 2 here. If you look that object 2 dot your object reference type dot your employee number. Here I'm going to update, that is a 7001. So first I will print here. If you look, that is a obj dot object reference type id dot your employee number. So here I'm going to write as employee number, that is a 2. Make a break here. So before I am updating that value, if we be here, we are now here, I am updating that value. You can see that here I am updating the value. So let's see, if I am updating the value, it should update only for object 2, because I am doing for object 2, but this one is a reference type. So object reference object, this one, that I employ reference type, this one I am using for reference type, just use that one. So same, copy from here to here for both of them, press enter here, or press enter from here. Now I'm going to write, first it will be the object one, let's see this one, and this one also to copy, but this should be object 2. Okay, so I'm checking that one, it will change or not, because this one, this particular one should come that 1001. No, sorry, what was that? Yeah, 5001. This should be 5001, and this one object 2 should be 7001. Now run the application. Let's see. You can see here that for object also obj1 and obj2, that both that reference type value is same. You can see here it's a 7001 and it's a 7001, but it's supposed to be one should be that 5001, this obj should be 5001, but obj should update only. That it can say that one that your primitive types make a different address, but for the reference type it's pointing to the same address. So how we can solve this type of problem? You can solve with a deep copy. Now the deep copy approach completely integrate the original object and copies everything in respective of value type or reference type. Therefore, a deep copy of an object will bring you an object with all of the element duplicated from the original object, but not pointing to the same object. Let's see with example to just open that employee number, that's this one and this one. Now comment this one. Now employee emp is equal to employee this dot membership member wise clone, then ref type rt is equal to new ref type rt dot employee number, because you are going to that you are saying that's one particular that employee that object that ref type, that employee number also should be make a into different address, same like a primitive type. So it will be the this dot object reference type dot employee number, then emp dot object reference type is equal to your rt, then going to return emp. Okay, now run the application. Now you can see here that see your that object is the same, that in the object there is a reference type that was a ref type. Okay, that this one is the reference type in that employee class, and that in that obj it's pointing to that at 5001 once we have assigned in the first time. Here in the first time you have assigned that is a 5001, but once you have done that shallow copy, that times that for reference type value was same. It was for obj2 that reference type was 7001, for obj also it was a 7001, but after the deep copy it's that it's both are different, means like that both are pointing to the different ad. Because here that creating that reference type, this reference type I am first pointing to the 5001 to that object. Once you are going to copy that one, here you are going to copy that one, so that value it's in a different address, and this one also that obj2 after cloning it's in a different address. I hope it's clear. Thanks for watching.